welcome back to Manya Fitness. Today I'm going to be doing a video on how to stay active and keep up with your health and wellness goals while you are traveling or are on vacation. So I love to travel. It's one of my favorite things to do, but staying active can be difficult and can be a challenge for some people while they are on vacation, because it's a vacation, your time to relax, unwind, and for some of you, you might not want to do anything while you're on vacation. You maybe don't want to think about exercising or working out at all, and that's totally fine. You should take some time to decompress and, find that chance to just completely relax your body and your mind. But for others, you may feel like you want to stay physically active while you're on vacation and you're not really sure how to do that. Right, so tip number one. Tip number one is it all starts in the suitcase. If you're packing only dresses and skirts and high heels, you're not going to be able to work out. Of course, you're just not going to be able to work out in that attire, and when you get wherever you're going, you're going to be like, oh man, I don't have shoes to work out in, I don't have clothes to work out in, and essentially you can't work out at all. So it starts in the suitcase. Wherever you're going, make sure you have the proper fitness attire for where you're headed. If you're headed to a warmer climate, make sure you pack a lot of shorts and a lot of t-shirts, because those are going to get sweaty and gross. And yes, you can wear them, but what I found is I tend to rewear them sometimes, but they get very gross if you don't have a washer. So you're going to want multiple shirts/shorts so that you can, wear different ones that aren't as disgusting. And you're going to want a pair of exercise shoes for sure, running shoes, gym shoes, whatever it is. Make sure you have those, because if you don't, then you will not be working out, chances are, while you're on vacation. So it starts in the suitcase. If you're going to a colder climate, make sure you've got long sleeves, sweatshirts. If you're running outside or if you're working outside, leggings, whatever it is, make sure you got it, because it's going to be cold. Hats, mittens, you're going to need those too if you're going running, if you're working out outside, whatever it is. And if you're going to the gym, same thing. If you have a gym, maybe at the hotel, maybe there's a gym nearby that you scoped out and you're like, I'm going to go there. Well, then you have to make sure you have gym clothes. You have to make sure you have gym shoes. You have to make sure you pack your exercise gear, your attire for the trip. So it all starts in the suitcase. All right. Tip number two. So tip number two is schedule it into your days. If you are going for 5 days, you're going away, are you going to be able to work out in the mornings? Are you going to be able to work out in the evenings? For me, it's the mornings. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get up before everybody else does. I'm going to hit the, trails. I'm going to run, or I'm going to go to the gym. And I really make it a routine to do it in the morning before anybody else is awake, because then I don't have to worry about the rest of my day. We can plan whatever it is or whatever activities we have, and I'm golden. So if it's even the middle of the day, I don't know. It's kind of just depending on what your schedule is, who you're with. If you're with somebody who, they like a nap every day, and you're like, well, I'm going to use that time then to go running or to go to the gym, that's great. Just schedule it in. If you don't have it in your schedule, chances are you're going to be less likely to do it, because your day's going to get away from you, and by the end of the night, you're going to be like, oh, I did not get this in tomorrow. But if you're really serious about it, you got to make sure you have a time frame that's going to work. And then also schedule how many days. So if you're gone for 5 and you're like, I want to work out for 3 of those 5 days, which days are you going to work out? Which ones do you have the least amount of activities going on, or which ones do you have more time to, get that workout in, or whatever it looks like for you? That's going to be key. So just making sure you find the time and find the right days. That's going to work for you and your vacation. Right, so tip number 3. So tip number 3 is to go outside of your comfort zone as far as fitness. So what does that look like? Well, for me, that looks like doing all types of activities that maybe I don't normally do. So I kayak. I run new trails. I hike mountains. I scope out the coolest trail and I'm like, all right, we're doing this one. It's a hard one. It's a steep incline. It's going to get our hearts pumping. So we're going to do this. Maybe it's swimming. Maybe it's canoeing. Whatever it looks like for you and whatever you're like, yeah, I'd really love to do that. And it involves physical activity, that is awesome. You're going to be using different muscles. When I'm kayaking, I'm using my arms. Typically, I'm a runner, so when I use those arms, they get very sore, and using your core. So it's just a really good thing to do, just overall, to use different muscle groups and to, go outside that normal, just the gym or just the run or whatever it may be. And honestly, like, for me, I'll probably go for a run in the morning and then my whole day is active. So I tend to be more active on vacation than I am at home. And that's just because, I'm not working. I have all the time to just go try new things, do whatever, and it's super awesome. So, if you're looking for a more relaxed type of vacation, just do one activity. Just say, okay, in the morning we're going to go on a kayak tour, and then the rest of the day I'm going to sit on the beach, and that's totally cool. Beach days are great. Chilling on the beach is awesome. And if you mix some swimming in there as well, that's also exercise. Even going against those waves, jumping in them with your kids, whatever it is, definitely exercise in general. So either way, it's great for you, great for your body. So just making sure that you kind of go out of that scope of your normal exercise routine, and you'll have so much fun. You'll have so much fun doing it too. It's great. And it puts a lot more into your day versus just sitting on the beach. And I'll even do like beach runs. So maybe if we're going to the beach that day, I'll be like, okay, when I get to the beach, I'm going for a run on the beach. And then when I'm done, I have the rest of the afternoon and the evening to chill on the beach, eat good food, and, go swimming in the waves. So it's really nice. All right, so tip number 4. So tip number 4 is going to be working a small amount of fitness into those super busy days. So when you're traveling, let's say you're on a road trip out east, and you're going to be in the car for 2 to 3 days. How is that possible to get your workout in? Well, for me, typically I'm in the morning, so I'll get up super early and before anybody else wants to even drive, and I'll work out. Or I'll scope out, specific hotels with a gym, even if it's a small gym, even if it only has one elliptical or one treadmill. If it's a gym in a space where I can do a YouTube workout video or whatever it is, I'm going to do it. So just finding like those brief moments in between travel to exercise, even if it's just like, okay, you're at a rest stop, what can you do? Do a couple of sprints. Do some walking, do some, lunges, some stretching, whatever it is to kind of get that little bit of workout in so you're still kind of moving and getting your heart pumping, even if it's just for a little bit. Because I know being on the road is exhausting, and sometimes the last thing you want to do is work out, for sure. I understand that completely. You're on the road for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in the day, and you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to bed. Or I'm watching TV, and that's great too. But the key is, just finding those little moments to get that heart pumping, even if it's 5 to 10 minutes, of whatever, jumping jacks, jump rope, anything, whatever it is, just find those brief periods, get it in there. And then even scoping out a gym and doing it late at night or doing it super early in the morning, just kind of factoring that workout in so you don't miss it is always helpful when on the road or when traveling. And on a plane, if you have a super long layover, just do a bunch of walking in the airport, walk from one one side of the airport to the other. Go to a restaurant on the opposite end of the airport or whatever it is. Go shopping at the mall, but instead of spending a lot of money, just walk to a bunch of stores. Just kind of doing whatever to get that exercise in is awesome. All right, tip number 5. So tip number 5 is going to be the people who you go on vacation with. Try to get them involved in some way. If you're all going on a hike together, that's awesome. All super excited about the hike. Or if there's something new you want to try, like a kayaking tour, say, hey, why don't you come on this kayaking tour? Let's sign up together. Going for a walk, just in the evenings, when you're winding down, hey, let's watch TV after we go for a 10-minute walk. Let's go walk along the beach. Trying to get them excited too to work out with you while on vacation is huge, 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 because if they're not excited or if they don't want to do it, that might go on to you, and then you might be less inclined to really want to work out because they lack the motivation, and then that kind of wears off on you, and you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't really want to anymore, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna sleep or whatever with them. Then that's fine. But it's not going to be necessarily helpful for your health and wellness journey because it's just going to be that lack of motivation and I don't really want to, I don't really feel like it. And then also, if you set something up, like if you say we're going to this trail and hiking at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're more bound to do it together if you're both setting it up. Or if you sign up for a tour, like a hiking tour, a kayaking tour, a biking tour, anything like that, and you're signed up, you paid, you're way more inclined to do it than if you just say, oh yeah, we'll do it, and then maybe you don't. So having that support system. I know when I go with my sisters to Florida or whatever, they usually like to be active too, and so that's super helpful because we can do things together. And also when I'm going traveling with my mom, she likes to hike and bike and do all those types of things as well, so we kind of support each other in that, which is awesome. All right, so tip number 6 and the last tip is going to be just the nutrition. One of the biggest things with vacation is it's awesome. Calories don't count, right? Except for that they do. I wish they didn't. But being able to try new foods, try new desserts, get that big giant ice cream you've always wanted, that's always fun on vacation. My sisters and I, last time we went to Florida, we got this milkshake. It looked awesome, and it was pretty awesome as well. But we shared it. We split it 3 different ways. So I think just the moderation is key. You can go have those margaritas. That's totally fine. But maybe limit yourself to 1 or 2 versus 5 or 6 or whatever it is. The alcohol, just limiting that, limiting sweets is going to be huge. But have your good food and don't take that away from yourself, and don't say you're going to take that away from yourself, because what happens is the reverse effect. I'll say, hey, I'm not going to eat any ice cream on this trip, and then I end up eating the most ice cream I've ever had on my trip just because I told myself I wasn't going to have any. That happens a lot to people. So what you want to do is just make sure that you're not restricting yourself of anything. You're just limiting yourself and your portions of how much you're going to consume. That's kind of just a big thing in general for nutrition. You never want to say you're never going to have it, you're not going to have it anymore, because chances are you're going to have it and your brain it wants it more because you can't have it. So then you end up consuming more of it. It's kind of just weird how our brains are wired, but in order to stay focused on your health and wellness journey throughout the whole time on vacation, it's just critical that you keep in mind that, calories do count while on vacation, and Just eating a whole pizza is probably not the best thing. Eating a massive, shake or whatever it is probably not the best idea for a vacation, to stay on your health and wellness goals. But, definitely treat yourself. Definitely try those things that you wanted to try and that you scoped out, and just don't say, I'm not going to have any, because you should. You deserved it. You're on vacation. And just remember, calories do count. All right, thanks for watching. I hope that these 6 tips helped you in some way and that they help you when you're traveling. I hope to see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.